Welcome back to NES Revisited. This episode, we're going to be looking at 5 games. These are the last 5 games released for 1986. Yes, they're all third-party developers, but now we have Capcom games. We know Capcom delivers the quality, so let's go check these games out. Let's check out the first of the 3 Capcom titles, Commando. Commando is a run-and-gun style vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. You start the game as Super Joe equipped with a rifle and some grenades. You need to get to the end of each stage, freeing hostages and destroying everything in your path. This game is frantic with non-stop enemies coming after you from every direction. It's one hit and you die, but it's surprisingly easy to survive. The bullets are slow and you can move and shoot in 8 directions. The grenades always get thrown up on the screen so you can run and gun sideways and throw grenades with decent accuracy. Collect the gold bars to replenish grenades and just keep moving forward. Stationary enemies will often move up with you, so you can't avoid everyone by running. If you see a ladder, you can use it to go underground and rescue hostages. This comes in handy because you can earn extra lives at about 120,000 points. There are several items you can pick up to help you. The wireless remote radio will wipe up all the enemies on the screen, and you can grab a helicopter ride to the next stage. The Medal of Honor gives you an extra life. The binoculars will make any ladders appear on the current stage. The bulletproof vest gives you protection from 10 bullets or 10 grenades, disappearing when either happens first. If you ever see this symbol called a yashichi, it's for massive points. Capcom loves to put this symbol in many of their games. There's 4 missions with several stages for you to get through. Each mission gets harder and the stages are more or less the same. You're so busy dodging enemies that it doesn't even matter. The music is pretty good and you get different music underground, changing the mood. Commando does struggle a lot with flickering. It's only natural considering the amount of sprites on the screen at one time. It's a little distracting and can be frustrating at times, but the game is still a ton of fun. I always find myself yelling out loud as I attempt to avoid the bullets, and coming out in one piece is always satisfying. This game has so much to offer. It can be a really hard game at times, but the gameplay is spot on and easy to get into. No confusing mechanics, just run and gun. This is an easy day one purchase. I recommend anyone to try this game if you haven't already. Next up, we're taking flight with Capcom 1942. We finally get a taste of how shoot 'em ups, or shmups for short, look on the NES. 1942 has a total of 32 stages where you have to fight your way to Tokyo and destroy the remaining enemy aircraft. If you find yourself in danger, you can press the A button to do a loop-de-loop. The R on the screen signifies how many times you can execute the maneuver. If you manage to destroy complete red formation, you'll be able to collect the POW icon. There's 6 different power-ups ranging from clearing the screen, extra guns, extra points, and additional planes. Just like Commando, you die in one hit. There are continues, but I'm not sure if they're unlimited. You get boss battles, power-ups, great controls, and a yashichi item. What else could you ask for? Oh right, the music, or lack thereof. What in the world is going on here? Is this a glitch? Did they forget to program the music? Unfortunately, no. This is the music in all its glory. I had to do some digging on this one, but I think I know what the issue is. 1942 was originally an arcade game and it also had the same music. The arcade version has a military drum and a whistle sound as the main source of music. The NES has the drum sound, but the whistle sound is done poorly. Mix in the sound effects from the rest of the enemies and all you hear is that annoying sound chirping randomly through the stage. Not sure why Capcom wouldn't change this or improve it. When the stage starts after you die, you get a glimmer of hope that some good background music might follow, but it doesn't. This game is really good if you can ignore the background music. Definitely worth picking up in '86, worth playing today as well. Finishing up the Capcom releases, we have Ghosts N Goblins. The objective is clear. You must make it all the way to the final stage and rescue the princess. You start off with the javelin, but there are 4 other weapons you can pick up on the way. Each one has their advantage, and for the most part, you can try and keep the preferred weapon of your choice. This game is extremely difficult. Luckily, instead of dying in one hit, you just lose your armor. Cruising around in your fresh Calvin Kleins, getting hit one more time will turn you into a pile of bones. For the first time, we actually get a glimpse of what an entire game is with a quick look at a map numbered 1 through 6. With 7 unique stages filled with tons of enemies, this game really sets the bar high for arcade-style platformers. It's one of the hardest games to complete for the NES, but not because of awkward mechanics or terrible game design. There are some enemies that are just really tough to deal with throughout the game. Manage that and you just might be able to beat this one. Spoiler alert. You don't actually win on the first attempt. You must now play through the second time to get the good ending. Ghosts N Goblins was an amazing Nintendo game for the time. Yeah, it's brutally difficult, but the game is really good and tons of fun if you have the patience and don't mind dying a few hundred times. If you're up for the challenge, try this game out. It's a Capcom classic. Time to check out Data East arcade port Karate Champ. Karate Champ is a basic fighting game where you compete against your opponent for points. If you've ever studied martial arts, this is how tournaments are set up. Your objective is to land technical hits for points, not just knock the other person out. Karate Champ was ported to the Apple II PC and the Commodore 64. The NES version is my favorite, and it was one I played a lot as a kid. When you attempt to play this game, you'll notice that there are a ton of different moves you can use. This is depending on what direction you press and what combination of A and B buttons are pressed. That includes pressing A and B together. Doing moves are easy. Landing them is a completely different story. It's hard to tell why a move missed or who will get hit first. It's frustrating and hilarious to see this. Just imagine 2 black belt karate masters randomly kicking and punching the air, unable to hit each other. Eventually you get the hang of it and start getting points to win matches. Once you do, you'll get to try out the bonus stage. All you do is try your best to avoid or hit the objects coming at you. There really isn't much else to say about this game. It follows the traditional arcade format of looping through levels until you lose. This game is fun for a while once you get the hang of it, but the repetition doesn't give it much replay value. Keeping this one short, this game really doesn't jump out as a must-buy game. The hit detection ruins the satisfaction of getting a point. You end up just punching and kicking like crazy hoping that something hits. The graphics, however, are really good, but unfortunately, that doesn't help the gameplay. I have a lot of nostalgic feelings for this game, playing it at laundromats and finally at home on the NES, but this game is still bad. It's so bad, it's almost fun. Especially playing against a friend. You'll laugh at each other as you both start flailing body parts and jumping erratically around the screen. The real champ is the judge who has to stand there and watch this madness. Now it's time to check out Konami's entry to the NES, Gradius. Okay, now how do you pronounce this game? The correct way is probably Gradius, but I like Gradius the most, so let's stick with that. Letting the demo play out, you get a sense of what to expect. Gradius is a horizontal shmup where you fly around blasting enemies, collecting power-ups, and surviving long enough to get to the end of the stage. In order to be successful in this game, you need power-ups. The way this works is that you'll see a red-colored power capsule that appears after you defeat an entire wave of a specific enemy. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see different power-up options light up depending on how many capsules you've collected. Hitting B will activate the highlighted power-up. Once a power-up is maxed out, it will be blank. I always try and get a few speed-ups early to help me maneuver, and then get some missiles to help with the ground attacks, and lasers, which are really strong in this game. When you select lasers, you'll notice that it'll get blacked out eventually, but another weapon will pop back open, so you can change your weapons. You just have to collect the power-ups again. How you build up your power-ups is your choice, but if you get hit, and yes, it only takes one hit to die, unless you have a shield to protect you. Otherwise, when you do die, you're going to lose all your power-ups. This game has 6 levels, each of them with a boss at the end, and one final level. Even though 1942 was a good game, trash soundtrack aside, Gradius is by far the clear winner in this one. It's just so good, and considering the time period, you wouldn't think this was a 1986 release. Let me introduce you to the Konami code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A. If you're one of the few who didn't know this code, be thankful. If you pause the game and use the code, you'll enable missile, 2 options, shield, and laser immediately. If you die and you try to do this again, it usually won't work. Also, there's a continue game code. At the game over screen, press down, up, BA, 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 and start to resume your mission. There are other secrets, but you can just Google them yourself. It's pretty obvious that you need this game in your collection, whether it's 1986 or 2026. Wow, what an improvement over the last batch of games we just looked at. Capcom really delivered this year. 1986 Christmas, I don't know, which games would you be asking for? I'd probably ask for all of them, but I'd really hope to get Commando, probably Ghosts N Goblins, and of course, Gradius. Anyway, that's going to do it for 1986. I hope you've been liking the videos up to this point. I'm going to be continuing this series and going to 1987 where a lot more games have been released. So be sure to subscribe to check those ones out, and thanks for watching.